Hi everybody. So now we're going to be looking at number 5. So number 5 does have a little bit of tricks to it. But we're going to just jump right in, right? So starting there, we're going to be continuing to the left 10. So I'll come down 3. Right? So starting right here, we're going to go over to the left 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 right here. Okay, we don't really have any measurements from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on that very right-hand side face with the little slot in it. We can tell that we need to go up 3 here. Okay? And then that little slot is 1 tall. So we're going to go over 2, up 1, continue over 2, come down 1, and then back over 2. Okay? To kind of finish out that side, we're going to go up 3 to make sure that we fit that whole face where it needs to be. And then all we're going to do is we're going to add this little tiny line right there to make sure that we remember that this is a 3D part and that little line does count. Okay? So for number 5, it does have one of those spaces that are 4 instead of just 2. So technically you could put 2 2's right there. So this whole space is 4. So we're going to count to the left 4 to right here to define that line right there. You can draw that better. Okay? Right there. And then what we need to do is we need to go up 4 to reach the top of the part, so right here. And then what we can see is that that rectangular face where we're at the back edge of comes forward 3 right here. Okay? And then all we have to do is finish that out. Okay? So the other thing that you need to make the inference on is if you apply the grid system to this part, okay, this does end up with a space of 3 right there because it covers a tick mark, goes past 1 into the half zone. So that is a space of 3 that we need to continue left on for that back square right here in the middle. So we're going to go 3 here, 3 here. Okay, just like so. And then if we know that the part goes 2 and 2 and 2 for a total of 6, okay, and we already used 3, we need to finish out with another 3, okay? So from this line, we're going to count forward another 3, and that's going to get us to the very front of the part, okay? So we're looking at this. And then what you can see is that this corner lines up with that corner, and we're going to end up with something just like that, okay? All right. So from there, what we need to do is we need to look at the very inside of the part right here, which gives us a spacing of 3. And then right here, we have 2 doubles, okay, which will give us a total of 7 for this line right here, okay? So off the top of this rectangle, we're going to count to the left 7. So that's 3, 6 plus 1, it's 7 right here, okay? So from there, I know that I can drop down 2 because that's real easy to see off the left-hand side of the print. Then we just define this overhang to be 4. So our inner corner is going to be right there. And then from there, we can drop straight down to meet where we just barely started from. Okay? So from there, we just have to finish off that top plane, which we know is going to be 3 plus 3 is 6. So we're going to count back 6. So 3 and 3 right here. So we end up with this shape right here. Okay? That's everything but our circles. All right? So for our circles, okay, we can tell that our circle lies right in the middle of the part, 2 away from either side. Okay? So we're going to have a line here and a line here, just for the time being. Then we can see from here to here, okay, thanks to our tick marks right here, that the left-hand side of the circle is 1 away from the left-hand side of the part. So we're going to end up with a line here, and a line here, thanks to finding out that our diameter is 2 from our front to back lines. Okay? From there, since we're again on a top-facing plane, we're going to have a front to back, left to right crosshair with our dots to anchor ourselves, and then just draw a circle as best you can within that box and erase it. Okay, so make sure you erase that box so it looks like you know how to draw a circle without using any inks. Okay? All right, give me a second to add dimensions to that, and then I will come back with the orthos. Okay, so here we go with the orthos. All right, so starting with our front view, I'm just placing a spacer dot so I know that this is empty space, but it keeps me within my 14 by whatever, how tall we are, boundary. Okay, so we're going to count to the left, 14. To the right, that's the right. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Right here, we know that this overhang is 4, so that takes away from this line being a total 14 long line. So instead of counting from the right 10, because that's tedious, what I'm going to do is I'm going to count from the left 4, because I know 14 minus 4 is 10. Okay, so we're going to end up with this line right here. Okay, then I know on the right hand side I have to go up 3. Okay, from there I know I need to continue over 4 before I hit my next corner. Then I go up 4 to right here. Then I have this space of 3 right here, which I'm going to see in the front view. Okay, so I came over 3 to the left, and then I marked it down here on the bottom side as well. Then from there, I know I have to continue over 7 to reach the very left-hand side of the part from there. Okay, drop down 2, come back over 4. It's going to line me up with that left-hand side of that line, and just filling this all in, we're going to have this in terms of object lines. Okay, so this right here. Okay? All we need now is to account for this slot right here, which is 1 tall. So and it's going to go from this very right-hand side to this edge right here, because this is empty space right here underneath that 4. So therefore, it's not going to continue into this space right here, because this is empty. There's no object there. Okay? So our hidden line is going to look like this. Okay? It only goes for 10 units across, right? All that's left now is our circle in the top, which we know is 1 away from the left-hand side. So we're going to have a hidden line here and here because we know the diameter is 2. And then our center line's only going to break those 2 object lines because it's not going to continue into empty space. Okay? That's it for our front view. For our side view, we're looking at this. Okay? So I know I have to go up 3 and then 4. And then both of these rectangles are 3 wide, front to back. So I'm going to go over 3, okay, twice in order to find these rectangles right here. And then come back down 3. Now I just need to account for this slot right here, which goes in 2, up 1, over 2, and then down 1. Okay, so that accounts for all of our object lines so far. And then filling it in, we're going to see this. Like so. Okay? Now all we have to do is account for the empty space on the left-hand side of the part, and note that there is no object line here because that's also empty space right there. Okay? So 2 down from the very top to account for this ledge. I'm going to have a hidden line that comes all the way across. Okay? Just like that. From there, all we have to do is mark where our circle is going to be. So it's 2 away from either side. So we're going to have hidden lines right here and here to mark our front and back boundaries of the circle. We have this object line that covers where our center line is going to be. So all we're going to do is add that little dash right there on top to show that there is a center line right here. We're not going to add it down here because our circle only goes down 2 through this ledge. Because if we're not going to see it in empty space right here, okay? So it's only going to go right there, okay? So from there, we're going to move on to our top view. From here and here. I know that the part is 14 long and it goes back 6, which is going to translate into going up 6 in the top view. So that's 3, 6, come over and 6. Right there, okay? I know I have to come over 4 to meet this edge right here, and then I know that that rectangle is 3 wide, which comes forward 3, okay? Then it's 3 wide here again, so I'm going to count to the left 3 to define that inner corner, and then this rectangle is 3 again, so I'm going to come down 3 to meet the front edge of the part, okay? So that's going to cover all of our object lines for right now. It's going to look a lot like this, okay? And we're going to see that, okay? So next thing we need to note is this empty space right here again, okay? So we have this ledge that goes back 4, so we're going to have a hidden line that goes from front to back right here. 4 in from the left-hand side. Okay, that tells us that we know that there's empty space underneath of this. Okay? And then all we have to do is account for our slot right here. Okay? It's going to fall right where this one is in the front view, which lines up with this hidden line and that object line. Okay? So it's 2 in from either side. So we're just going to see it like so. Okay, so it's not going to cross this hidden line boundary because, again, there's empty space underneath of it. Okay? So all we have to do now is draw our circle, which we know is going to be 1 away from the front edge. The left-hand side, right here. And then it's 2 away from the front, right here. So we end up with a 2x2 box, right there. And then our circle is going to fit right inside of that. So we're going to have a front to back and left and right crosshair. Draw our dots right here. And then fill in the circle as best as you can within that box. Okay? Make sure you try to touch all 4 of those points to show that you purposely put it there. And then that's it for number 5. If you have any questions, make sure you message me on Canvas or try to ask questions in class. Thank you.